If you're tired of not being able to save money, if you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, well, you're gonna wanna listen to this video because I'm gonna be giving you a no BS guide on how to save money. Saving money can be very simple, but it can also be very difficult if you don't have discipline. And that's where it starts. You need to build discipline when it comes to saving. So you have to realize what you want your goals to be. Do you want to be able to save money? Do you want to be able to invest into your future? Or do you want to just keep living the way you're living, paycheck to paycheck, spending money on frivolous things, spending money on things that you don't need? That's a question you're gonna have to ask yourself. And me personally, I've saved a lot of money, but I've also spent that money on things. But now we're back into that saving phase and it's going really well so far and I have no complaints. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do in order to save more money is find out how much money you're spending. Now, if we're in this saving mode, if we're saving for an emergency fund, if we're saving for something that's very important to us, then we may want to cut out our wants and we want to focus on our needs. Now, the main three needs that you need to focus on is your housing, transportation, and food. Now, with housing, we're talking about your rent or your mortgage, your homeowner's insurance, your Wi-Fi. You can even add your phone bill. And then with transportation, we're talking about gas, we're talking about your car payment, and you even want to add some money in there for maintenance. And we're also talking about car insurance. So that's what you need to add with transportation. And when it comes to food, if you're really in a goal to save as much money as you can, you don't want to actually add going out to eat when it comes to food. We're just talking about groceries. So how much do you think you spend on groceries? You can look back at your old statements. A good number of maybe $300 to $400 a month to spend on groceries, depending on your family size. So let's say we have someone that makes about $4,000. Say you make $4,000 a month. Say your housing comes out to about, let's say $1,200, maybe with a roommate. So we're gonna subtract $1,200 and have about $2,800 left. Say between bills that come with housing, say your phone, your electricity, your gas, say that's $400. So we're gonna have $400. So now you have $2,400 left. And this is literally how I save money every single month. I get how much I make a month and then subtract the big three from that number. So now I think we're good on housing. Let's go to transportation. Hopefully you don't have a car payment. Let's say you don't have a car payment. You have car insurance. Maybe your car insurance is $200. Gas for you could be $200 as well. And then let's say we put $100 aside for maintenance. So let's say $500 for transportation minus $500. That's gonna be about $2,000. So you have about $2,000 left. And now we have to talk about food. You might be single, but let's say you spend, I don't know, $300 on food minus $300. So we're gonna keep this super simple. We have about $1,600 left. So you can save maybe $1,000 to $1,600 a month. That is an amazing saving rate. So we have $1,600, you make $4,000 a month. You're able to save about 40% of your money, which is really good because a lot of people recommend to save about 15 to 20% of your money. So if you're able to save $1,600 a month by just living on necessities, cutting out frivolous spending, cutting out spending on Amazon or these things that you don't even need. And we haven't even talked about, toiletries or things like that. So you can add a little bit more to food because you get toiletries from grocery stores and things like that. Let's say you're able to save between $1,000 to $1,600. So now that we have the amount of money that we're able to save, we can then get to the best part and the best way to save money, the best way to build your wealth. And it's something I talk about all the time, which is automating your dollars. Automation is truly the key to building wealth. And I will live by this for the rest of my life. I will always say this. Automation is the key to building wealth. It is how you're going to be able to save a lot of money in a little bit of time. How I automate, I have a separate savings account. It's not connected to my checking account, not even connected to my credit cards. This is a separate savings account and the money from my check goes automatically to this separate savings account. Even my bills, I have them going to a separate account. So we call these allotments where I work. So they're allotments. So I have about 3 different allotments. So you go to my pay stub, you're gonna get to the bottom and you're gonna see 3 different allotments. Now, one is for investing, that goes to a separate account. One is for bills, that goes to a separate account. And one is for saving, and that goes to a separate account. And then what's left is what actually goes into my checking account. That's what I'm living off of. I prioritize investing. I prioritize my bills. I prioritize the saving, and what's left, honestly, groceries. Going out to eat, maybe a few things on Amazon, gas. The bills are already taken care of, and that's another video. I've talked about automating your bills and why it's so good, but we're talking about automating savings. I automate my savings straight from my paycheck, so I never see my savings in my checking account. Because if it comes to my checking account, I may be tempted to spend that money. I may be tempted to blow that money on something that was not important. And instead of manually doing, I allow systems. I have systems in place that automatically move my money to a separate account. So my savings account has no option. It has no choice but to grow. It has to grow because money is automatically going there no matter what, and I'm living off the rest. Now it gets bad when you actually start taking money out of that savings account and putting it to your daily expenses, but I really try not to do that. If we go over budget, if we don't have enough money in checking account, then I will pull money from the savings account. Then we're gonna make sure that we end up funding that money back. When we fund that money back, guess what? 2 weeks has passed, another check is coming in, and that's gonna just keep growing that savings account. So this is the best way to do it, guys. If you wanna save more money, you need to automate your money, automate your savings. Talk to your HR, find out how you can automatically send a portion of your money to a separate account. And make sure it's a high yield savings account. Don't go saving money to some normal savings account that's giving you a 0.0001% return on your money. Put it in a high yield savings account that comes with a 3 or 4% and let it sit and put it in there and let it ride out. This money is not your investing. This is literally just for saving. This is for getting you to your emergency fund. This is for getting you, if you want a car, if you want to buy a house, this is where you put that money. So the key mindset you guys need to have is to pay yourself first. And this is what saving is. This is what investing is. It's all about paying yourself first and prioritizing your needs before you prioritize anyone else's. Let's do a quick recap on how to save money. I hope you guys take this in. You need to find out what your needs are first. How much are you paying in rent? How much is your mortgage? How much is your car insurance? How much is your homeowner's insurance? How much is your electricity bill, your gas bill, your water bill, your light bill? How much are all these things? You need to add them up. All the necessities. We're not talking about Amazon. We're not talking about going out to eat. How much you paying in toilet paper? All those things need to be added up. Then we want to talk about your groceries. This is when the toilet paper, paper towels, don't forget that stuff because that's a lot of money right there. I go to the grocery store and I forget, oh, we need toilet paper. That's $20, $30, $40 right there. But that's not every single month, right? So we need to know how much you're spending in groceries. I say a good grocery budget is about $300 to $400. Depending how big your family is, it could be more. You want to add the big three up. Your transportation, your food, and your housing. Add them up, and then we're going to subtract that from your net income. And whatever is left over is the amount that you should be able to spend. If you want to leave yourself a little buffer, take a little bit of money off of that extra money that you can be saving and add that to your expenses. And whatever's left is the money that should be automatically saved to your high yield savings account that's not connected to your checking account. I have a link for Ally in the description below. Open an Ally savings account. I think the Ally is giving you about a 3.5% return on your money, which is not the best, but it's good enough. It's better than a normal savings account. And you're gonna watch that grow. Every 2 weeks, you're gonna have money that's automatically gonna go to savings account. You're just gonna, before you know it, you're gonna have your emergency fund. You have to ensure that you're staying on budget. You're not overspending in your expenses and then pulling that money from your savings account, because then when you start doing that, there's really no point of automating. If you're just constantly pulling money from savings account, constantly funding it, and constantly pulling it out. I believe this is truly the best way to save. So stop overcomplicating it, guys. It's all about automation. Automation is the key to building wealth. But let me know what you think about this video. How are you building wealth in 2025? And we're about to be in 2026. So how are you building wealth in 2025? And what things are you gonna do to continue building wealth in 2026? So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.